My question to you, Mick, is A, which person do you take with you on this trip and why? B, which historical figure will you be visiting in the hope that they can inspire, cheer up, and or motivate your traveling partner, and why?
Now, I don't know if you know the name Lou Zamperini. He was an Olympian in 1936. The book and movie Unbroken is about him. He, in World War II, was in a crashed plane, a bomber over the Pacific, crashed in the Pacific during World War II, and eventually picked up by the Japanese, who interred him. He became one of the most tortured men of World War II. He was in a prison camp in Japan for 2.5 years until the war ended. A is what I would love to do is take my wife of 43 years, his daughter, back to 1936 and the Olympics and get her a first row seat to see her dad, inspire her from that perspective.
What I would like to do, if possible, and it's not a loved one, I told Avi I worked for Donald Trump at his casino in 1986. We had a WrestleMania there. And there was like 20 of the wrestlers from WWE, and Donald was there, and he was very, well, let's say, in his own little world. I would like to take Donald Trump, not as a friend, but as a person who needs help. And I would like to take him back 2,000 years ago and introduce him to Jesus Christ. Bring him to the Holy Land and have him experience Jesus' compassion and his empathy and his humility and love and respect for his fellow man. And I would hope that this encounter would soften Donald Trump's heart and allow Christ's spirit and love to be absorbed in his body and soul.
When I saw the introduction of all of us, and I see you, Mick, and I see your background, and then I knew right away, I know who I'm picking. I'm picking my mom, because she was a big time horror movie fan.
Wow.
So I grew up watching movies that you probably helped direct, write a plot for, inspire, between Stephen King, the guy, John Carpenter, and my figure would be, and somebody who's still with us, would be Stephen King, because that was one of her favorite directors. I know she would want to meet him because of just how, like, where did you get these thoughts and ideas to put on paper and to create something like the story we just watched? If it's The Shining, Pet Sematary, I'll say movies that was around her age, Carrie, because I know she would be almost like a kid in a candy store. What was your idea? Why did you do this in this scene? Or, why did you write that character like this? When videos became a rental thing, that was kind of like our family time together. And so we'll go rent like 6 movies from Friday to Sunday and watch them and then return them on Monday. And of the 6 movies, probably 5 of them were horror movies. 2 of them was Stephen King, and then a couple were John Carpenter. Beyond the special effects, the teeth, it's a vampire movie, or the slasher, it's the blood and guts if it's a Jason or Evil Dead movie. If you look beyond that, it's actually teaching you practical things about being in the wrong place at the wrong time, or around the people at the wrong people, or around the wrong people at the wrong time. Like, hey, you got to have that like a radar about you. But I tell all my kids, I tell family and friends, they laugh at me. I'm like, if you really break down a horror movie between the writing, the acting, and directing, and the cinematography, I say the acting and the writing is teaching you something. Pay attention, because you never know. You might be in so many situations are practical situations. You get a flat tire on the side of the road and it's dark and you're a woman by yourself. Like, what do you do in that situation?
A very quick game here called I'd Pay. What should you pay for to see and why, my good friend, of the following? Darth Vader is a wedding planner, Godzilla is a massage therapist, or Freddy Krueger, the personal trainer?
Freddy Krueger is the personal trainer.
The Risk Girls. Wrist girls.
The knives are out. Yeah.
Wow.
I got to see where Mr. Mick Garris is going. Is he going the horror route with Freddy Krueger, or is he going to surprise us with something else? What should you pay for to see and why? Darth Vader, the wedding planner, Godzilla as a massage therapist, or Freddy Krueger as a personal trainer?
Godzilla as a massage
Oh,
therapist.
wow.
Yeah, that doesn't add up at all. Like that.
Just
Yeah,
the
look at
radiation
everything.
therapy for that would be.
The
You can
client
walk on your
doesn't-
back and get everything, though, right?
doesn't end well for the client.
Mr. Ahman Green, of course, for your game, you played I Pay before, so this is more underrated for you and why. Which do you think is more underrated of the following? Okay, we have sneezing 5 consecutive times, filling up a cup to the top without it overflowing, or sociology professor's name Buster.
I would say filling up a glass and not overflowing. That is so underrated. When you
Totally.
can get it right there, you're like, oh, and you're able to walk with it too, and nothing comes out of it. You're like, I'm a genius here. I'm gangster. I know what I'm doing here.
And if you were tasked with writing a book about self-acceptance that only includes 1 chapter, 1 page, and 1 sentence, what would you title this book and why? What would you title the singular chapter in your book and why? And what would be the lone sentence in this chapter and why?
So the name of the book I would have would be named Built Different. My chapter would be Don't Let Them See You Sweat. And then the one sentence would be tough people, tough times goes away and not tough people.
The first one would be survival. And what was the second one again? What?
The name of the chapter.
Sure.
Around the world.
Okay.
And then the last one is a sentence.
Yep. Single sentence.
I got this, and it's sort of, this is what I'm going to say. It was through the grace of God and the love of my wife, Mary, that I survived a 27-year career in professional wrestling.
That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. For all the fans out there that don't know much about pro wrestling, of course they travel, but you guys know that they barely get to see some of those sites because it's lather, rinse, repeat every day. They get off a plane. If they're lucky, they can go to the gym and sneak in a quick workout. They go to the arena.
Yeah.
Maybe at 2 a.m. a Denny's is open if they're lucky. Maybe a Waffle House is open at 3 a.m. and they can grab some sort of omelet or eggs if that's even served, and lather, rinse, repeat all over again. So
I was good to wrestling, and wrestling in turn was good to me, but at the same time, it didn't offer anything. I mean, there's no insurance, there's no retirement.
The title would be Don't Listen to Them Unless They're Right.
I like that one.
Chapter 1, or the chapter title would be Don't Let Anyone's Ego Get in the Way, Especially Yours. And the sentence would be, don't let people who think they know better than you talk you out of a good idea, but know when they make a good point worth considering. So mainly that's aimed at young writers or directors or creators in any way who are intimidated by people who've been in it for a long time. Because often when people want you to change, they don't like what you did. Often it's because it's new and original and not like everything else. What they're looking for, especially studio executives, is to read something that's similar to something that has come before that's been successful.
taking these off, I don't need them anymore. Did you have a nice time, my friend?
I had a great time. It's always fun with you, Avi, and
Thank you.
it's always a really interesting mix of guests, people that I might not run up against in my own personal life that, like I said, I really appreciate the opportunity to chat with.
Any message you'd like to send our viewers, my friend?
Well, just I love that there is an opportunity to talk about things of substance, the considering your fellow man, fellow woman in ways that are encouraging rather than discouraging, because we need encouragement more than ever.